Good morning. We start the camera right as I start a transmission here. We're talking about some digital stuff. People don't know what digital modes are, and I learned that some people think that it's like a cell phone talking to another cell phone over cell phone waves, something like that, like these apps, CB radio apps on the computer. No, get that out of your head. Here's the radio, this is our modem, this is our computer. So we're running JS8Call. It is a text-based conversation app that we are co-opting, I guess. Is that the right word, Dan?
I think
it's a platform we're going to utilize to share information. It is going to be an information hub. This stuff is very simple. This right here is a $5 kit off of eBay called Easy Digi or Simple Digi. I get the two mixed up. If you type in either one, it shows up, but it's Easy Digi is what it's called. And I bought two of them for $14 shipped to the house, and it took me 20 minutes to build. Very simple instructions. You can buy them built for $10. It's a $10 price to entry if you already have the radio. We've been telling you to get a radio for a long time, so if you're not with us on that, you got a lot of catching up to do. But we've got the dipole antenna in the air. That's what's outside. Here we've got the radio and the computer. Program on the computer is JS8Call.
And you're on 11 meters or 20?
I'm on 20 meters right now. For testing purposes only, I'm trying to receive these calls, decode, and I'm trying to see how people are using it, seeing what bandwidth is available. We've got all the room in the world to work here. Maybe not on 20 meters, it's busier, but on 11, maybe on 80. We'll talk about 80 at a later date. We're not going to worry about it. This is going to be based on 11 meters. So you get the setup that we've got here.
And can I pause you for a second?
Go ahead.
When you say 11 meters, it's also like that's standard CB radio.
That's CB, that's citizen band, that's unlicensed radio operators all around the world. I think they do license it in some parts of the world, but you will have access to speak with these people. You can, country to country, you just abide by your own country's rules and you're good. So CB, you can talk to anybody, anywhere, and it's a pretty magical thing because you really get out there. I'm on a regular basis speaking to California and New York City, all up and down the East Coast fairly regularly, so almost reliable communication. But for a project like Notes, it's perfect because you don't have to be connected all the time. You need to get one good connection, and then you need to receive the downloads, and we would like to receive your uploads. We want to hear from you. I'm getting prompted by the computer here.
So I'm going to just ask you a really quick question then before we go to the next topic. Basically, if you've got a computer and you've got the JS8 application and you have something like the device you just showed, the Easy Digi or Simple Digi.
And you can spend, let me just say, you don't have to get this. They have much more expensive commercially available products that you can use to hook your computer to your radio. Yeah. But this is the cheapest. This is the poor man way.
And it allows you to plug that laptop into a CB and you can send and receive digital messages.
Yes, and it will push to talk for you on a simpler radio. You know, this is a ham radio and I've got a USB cord plugged into it. RigCats is doing the push to talk. It will still work with a Cobra radio that has sideband. You need to be running upper sideband. It's going to be more common on a local network. If you wanted to hook two towns that are right next to each other up, you could use a regular CB radio. But on upper sideband, it's going to be far more efficient. We expect to cover the whole country in a planetary status report Notes network over 11 meters. Totally possible. That's where we're at. So, yeah, CB radio, hook it up and go. Moving on. Dan, do you want to bring the camera over here and take a closer look at the setup?
Yep.
And we'll look at the screen to see what's going on.
Okay.
Here's my Easy Digi. This is a set of headphone wires that I salvaged. Broken headphones. A couple of wires go in, and then goes into the computer via a old. It's a keyboard cable. Keyboard cable. Is this anywhere near your frame?
Yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, 6-pin. The mouse keyboards on old, like, this is late 90s technology, I think, early 2000s.
A lot of people have that junk just laying around.
Junk, yeah. Okay, so that's where we got this stuff at a used secondhand thrift store. They had a box of crap, and I said, "Do you have a box of crap?" And they said, "Yes, the box of crap is right here." And we were able to get a lot of the things that we needed. So if you want to check out the screen, here's our little waterfall. I'll make this bigger. You'll see there's not a whole lot of signals. Oh look, there's a signal coming in, and we'll turn the volume on the radio up. So you don't have to listen to this. Sounds like a modem, listening to a modem all day. But these are the signals coming in. Look, this is a conversation going on. These are the people that we've heard, and this is how the net gets built. Is old Kevin there? He's heard by me, not by anybody else. He's not a very good connection. Okay, but look at this. This guy is hearing 6 other stations, and he's heard by. Anyway, lots of contacts here.
It's pretty
and this
cool.
is a big packet of information. It's essentially Morse code that the computer understands. Where are we at on time, Dan?
I'd say we're probably 5 or 6 minutes in.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep moving on. I'm gonna jump over. First, I'm gonna pause my transmissions. I'm gonna stop this. Let's move over to 11 meters, and I'm gonna show you guys. It's gonna be a ghost town. It's gonna be a ghost town.
And that's your Yaesu, right?
Yeah, the Yaesu. Very good reception on these radios.
They have really good digital filters.
Very good digital filters. But you're not going to use any of those with this because the computer program does all the filtering for you. Yeah, right. And it works really good under the noise. So even if you live in an urban area with a lot of Chinese or LED light bulbs and whatnot, you'll still be able to get out and at least listen. At least listen and get messages out. The listening will be a little harder. Oh, I'm not on fast mode. Here, this will help. There we go. We're going to operate on 27500 upper sideband. We're going to sit here and listen because this is internationally the digital operation channel. That's mostly a European standard. But we're taking that and running with it because, maybe we do get some DX traffic. Who knows? Let me do my tests here. I'm going to do a tune test. Okay, SWR is good. Another test here. ALC, that's the important one. ALC, tune. Perfect, everything's good. I'm going to start doing a heartbeat every 1 minute.
And what's a heartbeat again?
A heartbeat is an acknowledgement that this computer and radio is here and it's working. So it sends a signal out. So if somebody receives a heartbeat, they can automatically interact with my computer. I don't have to be present. They can query my computer for information. They can say, what's your location? What kind of equipment are you using? Different queries can be sent and automatically returned without I don't need to be sitting here, I don't need to be doing anything. And it also says I'm available to receive messages. So people can say, hey, I have a message for the planetary status report. When somebody hears the heartbeat, they can send the message and it will sit in the inbox until I read it. So,
and before we go much further, I'd like to point out that this kind of technology, this kind of approach, if you're in a country that was currently suffering from extreme political oppression and the internet's shut down or it's monitored so people are getting tossed in jail, this is a way for people to get information in and out. And yeah, they can jam you, but that's it. All they can do is jam you.
But the thing is this is such a narrow scope on a big giant radio that this, if the noise is here and here,
you can still do it.
It will not be affected right here.
Right.
And we can hide this inside of an AM radio transmission. I mean, it's incredible. This is a tiny, tiny footprint. People worry that we're going to clog up a bunch of bandwidth on the radio waves. These waves are 50 hertz. Not kilohertz, not megahertz, 50 hertz wide. So that's pretty small.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead and activate this heartbeat. I'm going to let this run all day, and I'm going to do some testing on Kiwi SWR, different locations around the world. Repeat, custom interval, 1 minute. Go ahead and go. And I'm going to start it right now because I don't have the patience, and maybe we'll hear something. I was on all day yesterday, nothing. I was heard all over the country on 20 meters. But again, we're trying to stay off of 20 meters. I test it because I have the antenna up for it. But we're looking to stay kind of in the shadows. And we're hoping you folk come out and join us. With this setup, if you get your computer, and you don't need a good computer, this is a piece of junk computer. You do need a radio, and you got to get the two connected.
And JS8, I believe, runs on Linux as well, right?
It will run on Linux, yes, definitely. Most of these guys do the Raspberry Pi Linux stuff. They make these, because see, I can't use my computer now, really, essentially, for YouTube, anything that I need sound for, the sound card is tied up.
Yeah.
That's what this little cable is doing. So, I mean, I could still use it, check email and stuff like that. But it's good to have a dedicated.
So Raspberry Pi could be a really good way to do this because they're fairly cheap.
Oh yeah,
and
Look, I mean, you're gonna have to learn some of this stuff. I mean, this kit is the instructions are so simple. You can do that stuff and get your confidence built up. That's what I'm doing, building my way up to. Who knows if I'm gonna start doing this computer programming stuff like Dan's offering to teach me. We'll find out, hopefully, but you've got, the cell phone was given to you for a reason. It was so convenient for a reason. You've got to work for this.
Yeah.
But you're working for your own freedom. This allows, like Dan says, you will get out no matter what. To anyone, to anywhere. It's not the best, no, but it's better than being on an island alone with nothing coming into you. And the stuff on YouTube is just as bad. It's all propaganda now, it seems, anyway. So start building your own networks. Get hooked up with, let's pull up, it's not pulled up, but notes on planetarystatusreport.com. This is like groundbreaking stuff. We want you to join us. Get hooked up, run a node. And if we still have Wi-Fi coming into the house, you can get this information locally uploaded through the radio to a national network of people who are taking part of this. There's lots of people on JS8Call, but there are a lot of square people on JS8Call too. So let's balance it out, get out there, we'll get all this hooked up. Contact us, we'll help you get all this stuff lined out. I mean, I've got piles and piles of manuals I've printed out. I mean, this is all information to help you get on the air. This is just, it's all out there. It's hard to find though. But hit us up. We'll help you get on the air. We'll help you get a node for Planetary Status Reports notes up and running. And you can be a hub of information. And I expect some of you to understand the value in that. Approaching it from a capitalist point of view. This is... Imagine somebody walking up to you and saying, hey, have this AM radio station. In essence, you'll get to own all the commercials that go through that node, all the local commercials, all the advertising opportunities.
We could be sending, I mentioned EDI earlier, and EDI is an old data specification for sending data across narrow bandwidth data transmission systems. we could be sending EDI and companies could keep their businesses going.
Yeah.
They could be sending EDI to companies someplace else saying, I need this part, I need these supplies. So this is not pie in the sky. This is a way for people to keep going.
Yeah, could easily replace a catalog system, a snail mail catalog system. This would keep essentially e-commerce up and running with a grid down scenario. So let's end this video now. There's a ton of information. Like I said, I've got it and I can help you find it. This kind of thing is going to be easier to do right now than it is going to be to do later. So let's do it now. Mothball it. Get set up, get on JS8Call and mothball it. You don't need to start now. You're not going to need this now. We have the internet. You can access planetarystatusreport.com through your web browser now already. So we're good. But you need to have this stuff so when things begin getting progressively worse, day after day after day, maybe next week you wish you already had this stuff. I don't know. I don't know the time frame we're working with here, but I know that you can do it today. Easy, easy, easy. All right, Dan, shut it off.
Well, I'm going to shut it off. I just want to say one thing really quick. The Planetary Status Report notes page is still under development. It's capable of receiving notes if you save them in the browser and you can read them, but there's still functionality that's just not there yet.
It's beta. It says at the top, this is beta. We're all testing this.
Yeah.
We need you to join us, help us test this.
But the good news is you don't have to log in. You don't have to give me an email.
Okay.
You just tune into the site and you can start posting notes.
Yep. Post away.
It's GIS focused, so if you're a radio dude, you can post a note to a specific location. X marks the spot. Put the red X on the location. The note gets saved to that location.
All right, great. Shut it off, Dan.
Okay.